Hello everyone, my name's ActionPacked and I am extremely excited to give you this video today. I have about 17 to 18 minutes of full gameplay for Fallout 4. It's absolutely stunning. The graphics look pretty good. It's not, it's not perfect, I will admit, but it is definitely a step up from Fallout 3, and I think it's sufficient enough. And keep in mind, guys, I know there's a lot of people out there that are going to be harsh about the graphics, but, this game is actually quite good. It looks amazing. They've added a lot more features, a lot more content. This game is so expansive this time around, and you thought Fallout 3 was expansive? This is absolutely mind-blowing. So, hopefully you guys are going to sit back, relax, and just take in all the information I have to give you. I'm going to commentate over the gameplay, and then I'm going to come back at the end and give you guys some more details. But basically, I'm going to give you guys the basics in this video and go over what we see on the screen. And then later today, in a few hours or so, I'll give you guys more in-depth videos about what we see here, and I'll be, pausing the screen, giving you guys very, very in-depth looks at things. So stay tuned for that. I'll have more Fallout gameplay probably coming here in a few months, so subscribe to my channel for that, and let's get started. Alrighty, so what we're seeing here is the character creation, and these two characters that you're seeing here are going to be the mother and father of the main character that you're going to play as in the Fallout 4 universe. So keep in mind, whatever you're making for the features of these parents here, it's going to reflect on whatever their child has, and then eventually over time that child is going to get older, and then it's going to take place from there in the story, and then you're going to play as that grown-up baby in a way to say. But it's kind of weird, and I'll go over it a little more later in this video, but you're going to play as basically a 200-year-old individual. So I don't know exactly how that works, but we're going to have to see how that basically conceptualizes. But you can see here, all you have to do to change features on an individual character here is just drag the cursor on the screen to a different part of the face, click on it, and then you can instantly change different features. You don't have to scroll through a bunch of different options. You can literally just seamlessly drag your cursor around on a face, click something, change it right away. It's very smooth. I like how it works. And something else that's pretty cool, and we already knew this, but this is taking place in Boston, and it's also going to take place before the bomb is dropped and before the war, starts to begin and all that. So this is very interesting how they're actually giving us that opportunity to kind of go, it's almost like a prequel in a way. It's like a prequel and a sequel, because it starts off in the past before what we had in Fallout 3, and then it goes to after it, and it's pretty interesting how they do it, and I'll explain that in just a moment. But some things that I want to get off my notebook here, I wrote down a bunch of details. It is going to be first and third person as expected. You're going to get a new Pip-Boy, which I'll show you guys in a little bit. This is going to be more specifically in downtown Boston. And let's see, what else do I got here? The release date is going to be November 10th. That is this year. That's 5 months from around right now. So if you guys are watching this on the 15th, then it's about 5 months from now. Now what you're seeing here is the Vault Tec employee coming to the door saying, hey, do you want to register for a Vault? It's the safest way from, if there's a fallout that happens, you will be safe, blah, 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 blah. But he's going to hand you a clipboard here in just a second, and that is where you're going to register for Vault 111. It doesn't actually say it on there, but that's the vault you'll be in anyways. And you're going to register for this vault, and you're going to be able to choose different skill sets for your character, just as you did in Fallout 3. So this is nothing new here. This is something we've already had, but who knows? Maybe some of you guys are actually wanting to look at this and thinking to yourselves, you know what, I'm just going to assign all those points to my luck category. But let's see where that gets you. Anyways, right here, we're in the house, and we're going to just go through a couple quick scenes. You're going to see the wife there. You're going to look around a little bit, and then just after this, you'll go towards the baby, and then right after that is when it starts getting a little more exciting. That is when the bomb actually drops. And something to note to you guys is that, these scenes are going fairly quick right here, and keep in mind, they were trying to get all this stuff out during their Bethesda conference just hours and hours ago. And they were probably just, doing this demo very fast to just get through things and show you an overall feel of the game, get you into it, and just, give you some visuals. But I'm sure you're going to play the beginning of the game a lot longer than it actually looks like in this trailer, because right about here, you're leaving the beginning of the game, you're running towards the vault after the bomb is dropping. As you could see right there just a second ago, there was a broadcast on the TV, and then that, classic old, standby came up. And then right here is the vault, and it lowers you down into it. You don't actually see it right here because they changed the scene, But there you go. There's the bomb dropping. And then right here, we go to the next scene. This is actually the baby that was in the vault. He is about 200 years old at this point, and we really don't have any other story details besides that, so that kind of sucks. But at the Bethesda conference, they even said they're going to be very bland and very secretive about their story this time around. They don't want to give us everything right away. They want to, feed it to us over the coming months. So, of course, as I always say, stay tuned for that. But you can see this is the 200-year-old man. He doesn't look that old, does he? But anyways, of course, this is a Bethesda game. At this point, you are going to be able to go wherever you want. And I'm sure some of you guys are out there like, man, he's saying some really obvious stuff. But, I'm trying to make this a little, basic for this video. I know a lot of people out there are going to be new to Fallout. I want them to get introduced to the universe. So hopefully you guys aren't too annoyed by me going over some basic stuff. And I'll get into more, different features later in the video that you guys may or may not have seen already. But basically right here you can see the new engine at work, you can see the lighting, you can see the different dynamics that it has, and right where you were at in that last scene, you saw it for just a second, was Sanctuary Hills, or Sanction Hills, something like that. You guys can go back and pause it if you want, but what is happening here is this individual, the character that you're playing as, goes back to his previous house that, is actually surprisingly still standing apparently, but he just goes back to it after the fallout 200 years later, and this robot's still here, and he makes so many funny jokes. It's absolutely hilarious. But if you guys want to hear the actual audio and the actual gameplay audio, you guys can check that out on Bethesda's YouTube channel. I'll have that listed down below in the description, as well as a bunch of other sources you guys should definitely check out. And keep in mind, I'll have some other videos later today that will be more in depth than probably any of that content down there. But we'll get to that later today. Now, right here in the actual footage, as you can tell, it's kind of going slow. You're just dealing with some dialogue here. But in just a moment, you're going to see some new features. You're going to see some new content that, of course, everyone's been waiting for in this game. A lot of people have been referring to that dog as dog meat. You're going to see that individual dog here in just a moment. And you're also going to see some footage of you just running around here in the wasteland. So you're going to see that running around right here. This is some good visuals here. You can actually kind of see the sky. It's very blue. It's looking a lot better than it did in Fallout 3 in comparison. But here's the dog. Some pretty cool things about this dog. You can actually command the dog to do different things. Of course, you don't have to actually have the dog come with you, but if you do, then you can command the dog to say, hey, go over there, hey, grab this. And I'm sure there's other things that you can do with the dog as well that we currently don't know. But you can see here in the gameplay, the actual person playing is just clicking around, trying to figure out where to command this dog to go. They choose the garage, and then the dog runs over there, and then comes back with a stick. So I imagine this dog would be able to do more complicated stuff at some point throughout the game. Maybe go run and grab a gun or something like that, or go run and grab something fairly more valuable than just a stick, or just a tool or something like that. So here you're seeing some more classic Fallout stuff. You're going to see the slow motion here. You can choose where to shoot at. This is all classic Fallout stuff. If you guys haven't seen this before, you guys aren't really familiar with Fallout. Basically, this is just something you can do to actually just kind of slow things down, and then you can choose where to shoot, and then there will be a certain percentage whether or not your bullet will hit the actual creature or not. But the closer you are, and the percentage it says on screen will give you some data to whether or not you should shoot that area of the body or not. So here we're just seeing more footage, excellent footage. Oh my gosh, it's just so stunning, guys. Absolutely stunning. And you can probably tell right now some cinematic is playing on the screen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave you with this cinematic. I'm going to play some music, and I'll be right back in just about a minute. Alrighty, getting back into the gameplay, you can see we have a familiar device here, a Pip-Boy. Our character just found it on a dead body as he's leaving the vault, and you're going to see it has some notable features here in just a moment. But of course, this is something that's familiar to the Fallout series, something that's going to be a little different you're going to see here in about a minute and a half or so, which I'm pretty excited to talk about, as you can tell. But some notable changes about this Pip-Boy is that it has more entertaining animations, a little more alive, if you will, but other than that, it's pretty much virtually the same. It's got a new layered armor system. I'm sure some of you guys are going to be excited about that. There's tapes you can listen to. There's some tapes that are even mini games within Fallout 4, and you're going to see that here in just a second. I think the first one is, Red Menace. There you go. Then the next one's going to be like Atomic something or other. You know, just simple 2D games. And let's see, it should pop in the other one right about, Atomic Command. That's what it was. Alright, so yeah, those are the two games right there, and I believe they said in the conference there's going to be plenty more mini games you'll have on there. And here's some new stuff here. Now, if you would pause the video and look at these different things, you could kind of get a better look at it, but basically what you can do, you can literally go around, tear things apart, and build it into what you want. So if you have something that's metal laying around, you can scrap it and build it into something that requires metal. You can take wood apart and turn it into a building. You're seeing here, he actually took apart another building, and now he's making his own building. This is going to be his home, as you'll see as we progress through the gameplay over the next minute or so. It's going to turn into a home. He's going to start decorating it, and it's very, very customizable. It's very awesome what you can do in this Fallout, and I am so excited. This is going to be so wicked. And I think in an interview, Todd actually said that this is inspired from Minecraft, so that's pretty cool. And I remember a lot of people were freaking out when this dog was able to get his own little home there too. And you can also set up this little bar thing out here. You can sell stuff to locals and people that pass by to make some money. You can grow stuff and sell that as well to feed customers, blah, blah, blah. So, I mean, this is really cool stuff. There's definitely a lot more customizability, a lot more that you can do here. And what you're seeing right here is actually one of those new mechanics where you can actually give something power by connecting it with a wire to a switch, and then using a wire to connect that switch to a generator, and then voila, you have power, you have light. And then you can also do this with other devices as well. You connect them just to the switch, so you can have multiple things on that one switch, and they can all be powered by that one generator. So that's pretty cool. I can't wait to figure out the different dynamics that go along with each of these things and what the stats are for them, and etc., etc. It's going to be so much fun figuring out all this different stuff and just surviving in this post-apocalyptic world. Man, I can't wait to do it. But oh, see, now you got a defense system being set up here. There's just so much you can do. And another thing that's going to happen is you're going to have people that are going to try to raid your settlement. And this is going to happen apparently quite a few times throughout your your experience in Fallout 4. So you're going to be able to set up some pretty cool defense systems, completely customizable, of course. And now you're just seeing a run through of this house being built, or this settlement, if you will. So here's just some more previews of different settlements and different houses and different places. And there's going to be places you can go that are going to be, there already. But there's also going to be places that you can, just build stuff yourself. Or you can take things apart and then build something completely new. And it's completely customizable, completely dynamic. And yeah, just look at that. That's so sick. Completely reminds me of Minecraft right there. Now, something to keep in mind is that not only can you build buildings and other things with this whole dynamic system, you can build attachments for weapons. You can build your own weapons. There is so much customizability here, and what you're seeing here is you need an adhesive, glass screws, and steel to build this long scope. So you need either like duct tape, you need a globe, you need a wrench, and that clock there to be able to build this, or you could use some of the other items that are listed there. And of course, these are things that you can find pretty much anywhere around the map. You find them, you take them apart, you put them together, and then you make your weapon. And what you're seeing here is an individual at a bench making this weapon. And over the next half a minute to a minute or so, you're going to continue to see different weapons being made out of base weapons using different mod slots that require, of course, different pieces and parts to make those mods to attach them to the base weapon. And altogether, you're going to have 50 base weapons in the game and over 700 modifications for those weapons. So just imagine all the different materials you're going to need to make to have all of those 700 modifications available to you. And I believe Todd Howard on the press conference for Bethesda was actually saying there's going to be thousands and thousands of different items that you can tear apart and turn into different things. So I think those things kind of transverse between whether or not you use them on a building or you use them on a weapon or a modification. Of course, when we were seeing the buildings being built, we saw different materials. So maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong there. Maybe it's more smaller materials that you have to use on like attachments and weapons. And if you're building a building, then you need, of course, more material, bigger material. So I guess it may not transverse in that way. You may not be able to get like a huge piece of metal and then use that huge piece of metal and divide it up into smaller pieces amongst a bunch of different smaller things. That'd be pretty cool if you could do it that way, but I think that might be just a little bit too much and it might make it a little too easy. Anyways, as you can see on the screen, we can also modify our armor, and it looks like he's in the garage modifying that armor, so that's pretty cool. Looks like a lot of people's predictions about that was correct. Now right here you're seeing a bunch of different outfits, a bunch of different customizations, and now you're going to see some cinematics for some weapons. And you're going to see some really crazy different mutants here in a little bit as well. But I'm going to leave you guys with the rest of the gameplay. I'm going to start playing some music here after my commentary is over. But I just want to leave on a couple quick notes is that if you guys did enjoy this video, then please leave a like down below. I worked very hard on this video. I had a lot of preparation for it. And I commentated, I think 17 minutes or 16 minutes or so throughout this video. So that's a very long commentary, and that takes some effort. So thank you guys so much for any support that you give me on this video. I very much appreciate it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.